The month of June 2025 arrives with a burst of energy, compelling shifts, and spiritually charged realignments. With multiple planets changing signs, significant conjunctions forming, and luminary cycles reaching pivotal peaks, this month becomes a turning point, both individually and collectively. It's essential to note that these insights are grounded in Vedic astrology, which accounts for the approximately 24-degree difference from the tropical zodiac. At the heart of the month's energetic foundation lies the ongoing transits of major planets, like Saturn through Pisces, a placement that continues to demand deep emotional maturity, spiritual discipline, and inner purification. Saturn in Pisces is not about visible achievement, it's about healing, closure, and the dismantling of illusions. From this watery domain, Saturn casts its gaze toward Taurus, 3rd aspect, Virgo, 7th, and Sagittarius, 10th, encouraging structure in material matters, clarity in service and routines, and accountability in beliefs and long-term visions. For many, this aspect brings a reckoning with escapism, but also a chance to ground the intangible into sustainable form. Meanwhile, Jupiter has now moved into Gemini, marking a shift toward intellectual expansion, learning, communication, and curiosity-driven growth. With Jupiter's aspect on Libra, 5th, Sagittarius, 7th, and Aquarius, 9th, there's a growing desire for harmony in relationships, balance in ideologies, and innovation in collective thinking. A noteworthy highlight this month is Jupiter's trine aspect with Rahu, which is currently placed in Aquarius, its own sign. This creates a powerful channel of futuristic thinking, technological breakthroughs, and a karmic pull toward knowledge, independence, and progressive reforms. The Rahu-Jupiter trine can also blur the lines between wisdom and clever manipulation, a reminder to stay rooted in ethics and higher truth. Rahu in Aquarius and Ketu in Leo form the underlying nodal axis, drawing attention to themes of collective liberation versus individual pride. With Mars entering Leo on June 7th, and forming a conjunction with Ketu, we are likely to experience a spike in assertive energies, egotistical battles, and unpredictable impulses. Mars-Ketu conjunctions often provoke karmic confrontations and a need to sever old ties or past attachments related to the house Leo governs in the collective chart. While this energy can be fiercely catalytic, it can also promote courage for radical self-purification, if approached consciously. Adding more fire to the month, Mercury, the planet of intellect and communication, moves swiftly through Taurus, Gemini, and finally into Cancer. Mercury begins the month in conjunction with the Sun in Taurus, grounding our thoughts and speech in practicality. On June 6th, Mercury enters Gemini, its own sign, where it joins Jupiter and the Sun, creating a triad of immense intellectual vitality, mental stimulation, and high-level conversations. This conjunction enhances clarity, persuasive speech, and idea exchange, but it may also trigger information overload or excessive rationalization. By June 22nd, Mercury moves into Cancer, softening our mental edge with emotional nuance and intuitive perception. The Sun's journey through Taurus into Gemini on June 15th reflects a transition from groundedness to adaptability. While in Taurus, the Sun emphasizes stability, finances, and sensual pleasures. Once in Gemini, the focus shifts to mobility, expression, networking, and youthful curiosity. The Sun's conjunction with Jupiter and Mercury mid-month will amplify themes of confidence and communication, intellectual pride, and the search for meaningful knowledge. This is a brilliant window for education, media, writing, or public discourse, but also a time to beware of arrogance in one's opinions or beliefs. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and value, adds charm and vibrancy to the month. On May 31st, Venus enters Aries, infusing relationships with boldness, desire, and spontaneity. This transit often accelerates romantic pursuits but may lack emotional depth. By June 29th, Venus enters Taurus, its own sign, where it becomes focused in pleasure, sensuality, and aesthetic appreciation. This transition marks a beautiful closing note to the month, offering comfort, material abundance, and deeper connection to art and love. The lunar phases this month hold significant emotional and energetic weight. The full moon in Scorpio on June 11th brings intense emotional revelations, potential power struggles, and the urge to purge toxic attachments. Scorpio's depth combined with the lunar climax can stir deep-seated fears or obsessions, but also provide profound emotional healing. By contrast, the new moon in Gemini on June 25th is a fresh mental beginning, perfect for planting the seeds of communication, ideas, new connections, and travel plans. As Gemini rules duality, this new moon also encourages us to integrate multiple perspectives and embrace complexity. Taken together, June 2025 is not a month for passivity. It demands engagement, agility, and awareness. The Gemini emphasis, with Jupiter, Mercury, Sun, and the new moon all activating this sign, urges us to think, speak, learn, and connect. Yet, we are equally called to go inward, with Saturn in Pisces continuing its long-term lesson in emotional detachment and spiritual growth, and Mars Ketu in Leo asking for karmic discernment in how we wield personal power. To accurately assess the impact of these transits, it's crucial to consider your ascendant and moon signs. The ascendant sign provides insights into the timing of life events, while the moon sign reveals how you'll emotionally respond to these changes. Additionally, consider the position of your current Mahadasha Lord in your birth chart, as it can shed light on how these transits will influence the recurring themes of your current dasha period. These specific outcomes will depend on individual dasha periods and how these transits interact with your natal planetary placements. If you are currently in Jupiter's Mahadasha period, its transit influence will be particularly prominent. Remember, the effects of these transits vary for each person. Let's explore how they may affect you based on your zodiac sign and the houses they transit. For Aries, June 2025 is shaping up to be a month of profound self-transformation, mental stimulation, and important realignments in both personal and professional life. With several key planetary movements occurring this month, especially involving your sign Lord Mars, your career Lord Saturn and Sun, and Venus and Jupiter aspects on relationship houses, this period demands conscious action, clarity of mind, and strategic adjustments. Your ruling planet Mars, which also governs your 8th house of transformation and hidden events, starts the month debilitated in Cancer, positioned in the 4th house. This placement may initially bring some emotional unrest or domestic discomfort. You might feel a lack of motivation or irritation, especially in matters concerning home, vehicles, or emotional security. There can be arguments or restlessness related to family or property. Relief arrives as Mars enters Leo on June 7th, shifting into your 5th house and forming a conjunction with Ketu. This brings a fiery intensity to your creativity, children, and romantic life. You may feel highly passionate but also impulsive. The conjunction with Ketu means your actions in love and speculation may be driven by instinct rather than clarity. Conflicts with romantic interests and children are also possible. It's best to avoid taking major risks in love or gambling, as outcomes could be uncertain. Channel this energy into creative work, spiritual pursuits, or personal development. Career-wise, Saturn's position in your 12th house in Pisces continues to make this a time of introspection, letting go, and redefining your ambitions. Since Saturn rules both your 10th house, career, and 11th house, gains, network, its presence in the 12th house indicates behind-the-scenes efforts or even overseas job prospects. You may feel isolated at work or find yourself working more independently. This is a karmic phase. Delays and obstacles may test your patience, but any effort made with sincerity will sow the seeds for long-term results. Saturn aspects your 2nd house of finances, 6th house of work, and 9th house of higher learning and beliefs, suggesting that hard work in these areas can slowly begin to bear fruit. If you're dealing with debts, loans, or workplace conflicts, Saturn's aspect on the 6th house provides the discipline to tackle these systematically. Jupiter's entry into Gemini, your 3rd house, brings a refreshing change. Jupiter governs your 9th and 12th houses, and in the 3rd, it boosts your communication, networking, and skill development. You may feel driven to express yourself more clearly, perhaps even publicly, through writing, speaking, or social media. This is a good time to learn new skills, especially those involving communication, technology, or business. Jupiter's trinal aspect to Rahu in the 11th house of gains and social circles creates a strong potential for growth through connections, digital platforms, or large organizations. With Jupiter also aspecting your 7th house of partnerships, opportunities for professional collaborations or even romantic prospects through social networks or learning environments are high. If you're in a business partnership, you may see expansion, but be wary of overpromising or overextending. Rahu's transit through Aquarius, your 11th house, remains a powerful one for ambition, social influence, and unconventional gains. You might be drawn to new age networks, digital ventures, or influential groups. With Ketu in the 5th, your creative self-expression may feel blocked or too impersonal at times. This axis pushes you to balance personal passion with collective goals. Be cautious not to lose your individuality in your quest for approval or success through associations. Focus instead on creating authentic, value-driven networks. Venus brings personal charm and magnetism as it transits your 1st house starting May 31st. You'll notice a glow in your appearance and mannerisms. This transit is excellent for self-presentation, romantic attraction, and personal branding. From June 29th, Venus moves into Taurus, your 2nd house, a powerful placement since Venus rules this house. The Sun, the ruler of your 5th house, begins the month in Taurus, your 2nd house, and then moves into Gemini, third house, on June 15th. The initial part of the month puts focus on finances and family legacy, while the second half boosts your communication, courage, and short travels. This is a good time for marketing, writing, or any intellectual engagement. The conjunction of the Sun with Mercury and Jupiter in Gemini enhances your ability to speak with authority, wisdom, and confidence. Take advantage of this period to put yourself out there, whether it's launching a project, giving a presentation, or having important conversations. Mercury's transits this month are swift and impactful. Beginning in your second house, it enters your third on June 6th and then moves into your fourth house on June 22nd. These transitions suggest that your mind is highly active. You'll likely be multitasking, managing communications, and engaging with family and personal projects. Expect busy days, quick travels, or learning-related tasks. Mercury's conjunction with Jupiter and the Sun enhances clarity and brilliance in your expression, especially around mid-month. When Mercury moves into Cancer, your emotional tone might become more pronounced in communication, especially with family. The full moon on June 11th falls in Scorpio, your 8th house, a deeply transformative zone. Expect emotional intensity, especially around shared resources, inheritances, or intimate relationships. This is not the best time for big financial commitments or emotional confrontations unless you are clear about your motives. Let go of grudges and release toxic patterns. By the new moon on June 25th in Gemini, your third house, you'll feel a renewed sense of motivation and purpose. This lunation brings a fresh cycle in communication, sibling relationships, and skill development. Set intentions for learning or launching a new initiative related to media, writing, or public expression. In terms of relationships and marriage, this month offers mixed results. Venus in your first house increases attractiveness and draws romantic interest, but Mars Ketu in the fifth can cause confusion, conflicts, or detachment in love. If you're dating, you may feel passionately drawn to someone yet unable to define what you want. Married individuals might experience temporary disconnects, especially if ego issues surface. Jupiter's aspect on the 7th house stabilizes the situation and encourages growth through mutual understanding. If you're single, the second half of the month may bring unexpected meetings via your network or during travels. Family life sees improvement in the latter half of the month. Venus transiting to Taurus and the Sun-Mercury-Jupiter influence in the 3rd house indicates good interactions with siblings and close relatives. You may host a gathering or participate in a family celebration. Financial matters within the family may also stabilize, especially if you've been discussing shared responsibilities or budgets. Take time to reconnect with your roots and heal any lingering misunderstandings, especially after the intense full moon in Scorpio. On the health front, the start of the month may feel sluggish or emotionally draining due to Mars in Cancer and Saturn in the 12th. You may feel emotionally sensitive, lethargic, or physically less energetic. Once Mars enters Leo, vitality returns. It's a good idea to focus on physical activity, especially cardiovascular workouts or activities that allow you to release pent-up energy. Stress may still linger due to Saturn's 12th house presence, so prioritize good sleep, spiritual practices, and mental rest. Meditation could be especially effective now. Overall, June 2025 is a transitional and potentially transformative month for Aries individuals. There's a blend of mental alertness, career restructuring, and emotional awakening. Your courage, communication, and inner drive will see renewal mid-month, while financial and romantic matters gradually improve. Navigate this month with grounded action, spiritual awareness, and an open heart. The growth you seek is already taking shape. For Taurus, June 2025 brings a complex and transformative mix of planetary energies. With multiple planets moving through your first, second, and third houses and important interactions occurring across your angular and trinal houses, the month demands mindful navigation in all life areas, especially career, finances, relationships, and personal well-being. Career continues to be a key area of focus this month. With Saturn, the lord of your 10th house of career, transiting your 11th house of gains and aspirations, the foundations you've been laying over the past few months may now start showing concrete results. This is Saturn we're talking about. Its rewards are earned, not given. There may be delays or the need to work harder than usual, especially in team-based settings or long-term projects. With Saturn aspecting your first house, self-effort and physical commitment, your personal dedication will be tested. You might feel overburdened at times, but staying consistent will help you break through. Rahu's presence in your 10th house adds intensity and ambition to your professional goals. You may find yourself chasing more recognition or status, and in some cases, exploring unconventional career paths. The Jupiter-Rahu trine between the 2nd and 10th houses supports bold financial decisions related to your career, and may bring foreign or digital opportunities your way. Jupiter's influence enhances your articulation and negotiation skills, particularly after the Sun and Mercury move into your second house of speech and values mid-month. Be cautious of overpromising or appearing overly confident, as Rahu can sometimes blur the lines between ambition and reality. As Mars moves into your 4th house on June 7th and forms a conjunction with Ketu, there could be sudden changes in your work environment, or tensions related to your workplace or property matters. You might be required to travel for work, or deal with situations involving your home and professional life overlapping. Maintain emotional balance, and avoid unnecessary confrontations with coworkers or superiors, especially in the second half of the month. The combination of the Sun, Mercury, and later Jupiter in the second house brings clarity to your financial goals and helps you manage wealth with wisdom. You may gain from communication-oriented work, consulting, or business negotiations. Mercury, the natural karaka for commerce, enters Gemini, your second house, on June 6th, joining Jupiter, and this conjunction can trigger an uptick in income and savings, especially if you've been nurturing a side business or intellectual asset. The new moon in Gemini on June 25th brings an excellent opportunity to initiate a new financial plan, investment, or savings strategy. Jupiter's expansive presence ensures that your financial vision is future-oriented. But again, Rahu's aspect from the 10th house suggests the need to stay grounded. Avoid impulsive investments, particularly those that seem too good to be true or involve speculative gains. Venus, your 1st house and 6th lord, begins the month in Aries, your 12th house. This indicates some expenditure, possibly on travel, health, or luxury. When Venus enters Taurus on June 29th, you get a major energetic boost. Your charm, appearance, and confidence rise, and this can indirectly benefit your financial standing, especially in the final days of June. The full moon in Scorpio on June 11th activates your 7th house of committed relationships, which can bring emotional revelations or turning points in your love life. For those in long-term relationships, this may be a moment of intense emotional exchange, possibly around commitment, emotional needs, or boundaries. If you've been avoiding tough conversations, they may surface around this time. With Mars, the 7th lord, moving into your 4th house and joining Ketu on June 7th, there is a chance of domestic unrest, miscommunication, or emotional withdrawal from a partner. This is a sensitive transit that can trigger either conflict or spiritual introspection, depending on how you handle it. Married couples may need to address issues related to home, privacy, or shared responsibilities. If you're single, the first half of June may feel introspective or detached due to Venus in the 12th house. But once Venus enters Taurus on June 29th, love and attraction begin to flourish. The planetary activity in your 2nd and 4th houses also makes family matters significant this month. While Mercury and Jupiter in your 2nd house support better communication and understanding within the family, Mars and Ketu in the 4th can create tension or conflicts at home or with your mother. There could be disagreements around property, household expenses, or emotional boundaries. If you've been planning to renovate, move, or buy property, delays or sudden obstacles could arise after June 7th. Handle domestic matters with empathy and patience. Jupiter's aspect on the 6th house helps mitigate family-related disputes or health issues of family members, but avoid being overly critical or controlling, especially around mid-month when Mercury and Jupiter combust together in Gemini. Friends may play a supportive role, especially those connected to your career or long-term goals. With Saturn's steady transit through your 11th house, genuine friendships and mentors could guide you through career and personal dilemmas this month. Health takes a slightly mixed tone in June. Venus in the 12th house for most of the month could indicate minor issues related to the reproductive system, hormonal balance, or hidden ailments. Since Venus also rules your 6th house of illness, be cautious about overindulgence, especially with sweets, alcohol, or overspending energy on superficial pleasures. Prioritize rest, and try to incorporate creative or spiritual activities into your routine to calm the mind. Mars move into your 4th house could increase blood pressure, chest-related concerns, or internal stress, especially if you are bottling up emotions. Engage in physical activity that relaxes you without exerting pressure, such as swimming or walking. Ketu's presence with Mars may encourage detachment, but also an overactive mind. Meditation or journaling can help anchor you. The month's planetary placements offer deep self-transformation. Saturn's aspect on your 1st house makes you more serious and reflective about your life path and purpose. Rahu in the 10th house keeps you hungry for success, but the Jupiter conjunctions offer spiritual guidance to channel your ambition wisely. The full moon in Scorpio and the new moon in Gemini activate your axis of relationships and values, encouraging you to let go of toxic emotional patterns and adopt new habits around communication, self-worth, and emotional clarity. This is a good month to keep a journal, attend therapy, or engage in introspective practices that help you realign with your higher goals. Overall, June 2025 is a power-packed month for Taurus. While it comes with emotional highs and lows, the overall momentum is supportive of personal and financial growth, relationship transformation, and self-empowerment. Stay grounded amidst the intense Mars-Ketu energy. Leverage the benefic support of Jupiter and Venus, and be mindful of your words and spending. By month end, you'll feel more in control, radiant, and ready to embrace the second half of the year with clarity and confidence. For Gemini, June 2025 is a pivotal month that centers around self-reinvention, intellectual clarity, and the delicate dance between assertive ambition and mindful introspection. With Mercury, your ruling planet, transitioning through your 12th, 1st, and eventually 2nd house over the course of the month, the spotlight rests firmly on identity, speech, personal evolution, and financial recalibration. The interplay between Mercury, Jupiter, and the Sun in your sign intensifies this transformation, encouraging you to step into a more expressive and empowered version of yourself. A new moon in your sign on June 25th marks a reset, aligning your intentions with outer manifestations. Your career sector comes under substantial scrutiny and refinement, largely due to Saturn's ongoing transit through Pisces, your 10th house of profession, authority, and long-term goals. This Saturnian influence demands that you structure your ambitions, commit to a disciplined path, and demonstrate patience in achieving recognition. Saturn's aspect to Taurus, 12th house, and Virgo, 4th house, further amplifies themes around balancing your work commitments with private life and mental well-being. It's a period where your professional image may be under quiet but steady construction. Jupiter, the 10th lord, is now transiting your 1st house, placing you in the limelight. Opportunities for leadership or thought-based influence, teaching, publishing, consulting, may arrive. When the Sun joins Jupiter in Gemini on June 15th, your sense of purpose will become more illuminated, and your presence more commanding. If you've been waiting to launch a project or take charge in a visible role, the second half of June is your power window. Venus in Aries through most of the month brings support to your 11th house of gains, alliances, and long-term dreams. Friends, collaborators, and social groups may play an influential role in helping you advance career ambitions. This placement also highlights networking success and can bring admiration from peers or superiors. When Venus moves into Taurus on June 29th and into your 12th house, it prompts a more subdued and introspective tone, especially in creative work. On the financial front, the month presents both opportunities and cautionary notes. Mars, ruling your 6th and 11th houses, begins the month in Cancer, your 2nd house of personal wealth and speech, albeit in its debilitation sign. This may bring up issues around impulsive spending, miscommunication in financial dealings, or aggressive attitudes toward money matters. When Mars enters Leo on June 7th and activates your 3rd house, a more strategic mindset emerges. This shift invigorates your initiative, communication skills, and courage, possibly pushing you to explore side ventures, entrepreneurial pursuits, or income via short-term contracts. Do watch out for confrontational exchanges or conflicts with siblings, neighbors, or within your immediate environment due to Ketu's conjunction here. While energy is abundant, impulsive decisions could backfire. Mercury's transit into your 1st house on June 6th is pivotal. It signals mental clarity, persuasive communication, and a refreshing alignment between your thoughts and actions. This can bring contracts, negotiations, or deals that have been delayed into forward motion. Financial discussions or salary negotiations may flourish in the days following Mercury's entrance. By June 22nd, Mercury enters Cancer, strengthening your 2nd house of earned income. This transit improves your persuasive speech and financial planning. The final days of June could see you receiving payments owed or making important financial decisions regarding savings and investments. Your love and marriage landscape is deeply influenced by Jupiter, your 7th house ruler, transiting your 1st house. This brings a natural focus on relationships, with an emphasis on growth, compatibility, and long-term bonding. Whether you're single or partnered, this transit makes you more attractive to others and emotionally generous in one-on-one dynamics. Jupiter's aspect to Rahu in your 9th house could signal meeting partners through travel, higher education, or spiritual avenues. If you're in a committed relationship, these themes may become a point of mutual interest and bonding. The Saturn aspect to the 7th house also suggests a karmic seriousness in partnerships. You may be thinking long-term, asking more from your partner, or facing relationship trials that test mutual endurance and respect. Venus in the 11th house, ruler of your 5th house of romance, supports casual love connections, light-hearted flirtation, and social pleasure during most of the month. This is an excellent time to mingle, especially in group settings or community-based events. The full moon in Scorpio on June 11th activates your 6th house, which could bring a realization or turning point regarding imbalances in your romantic or marital relationships. It's a call to address health, routines, or service-oriented dynamics in love. By the new moon on June 25th in your sign, you're ready to start fresh, whether by renewing a relationship commitment or setting new standards in what you desire from a partner. In family and friendships, you're generally well supported, although the movement of Mars into Leo and your third house may stir tension among siblings or cousins. This could involve issues around control, communication, or responsibilities. Ketu's presence here suggests you might also experience emotional distance or feel misunderstood. It's wise to avoid taking words too personally and instead focus on active listening. Family dynamics at home are more stable, but you may feel obligated to manage responsibilities or care for elders. Emotional maturity and routine care will keep the household running smoothly. During Mercury's transit through your sign, you'll have the ability to clearly express needs or boundaries, which can enhance harmony at home and in friend groups. In terms of health, you start the month under the influence of Mars in your second house, which may cause fluctuations in eating habits, digestion, or throat-related issues. This placement can make you more prone to acidity, infections, or inflammation if dietary discipline is ignored. The full moon in Scorpio on June 11th heightens energy around the 6th house of health and routines, bringing awareness to what must change. It may signify the culmination of a treatment, or the realization that a new regimen is required. Saturn in your 10th continues to demand physical stamina and mental endurance. Don't overwork yourself without rest. Mercury's transit through your first house brings mental alertness, but also potential for overthinking or anxiety if not grounded. Pairing this with Jupiter's presence helps create optimism and perspective. You may feel the urge to focus on mental wellness, clarity, and hygiene. When Mercury moves into Cancer by June 22nd, attention shifts toward nourishing the body and stabilizing finances, which can indirectly ease stress. The new moon in your first house on June 25th is a perfect moment for resetting physical, mental, and emotional intentions, ideal for starting a fitness regimen or simply giving your appearance a confident refresh. Overall, June 2025 marks a profound month of self-renewal for Gemini. With your ruling planet and your 7th and 10th house lords all converging in your first house at key moments, you are the focal point of transformation. Your presence, ideas, and voice hold great weight now. Whether you choose to speak publicly, lead courageously, or reinvent yourself privately, the cosmos is offering tools to align your life with authenticity. Stay mindful of how you use your energy. Grounding it in strategy and humility will help you turn insight into influence. For Cancer, June 2025 is a month of internal transformation, karmic release, and vital preparation for a new chapter in your life. With Mars initially transiting your own sign and later moving into your second house, and Jupiter in the 12th, many of your efforts may feel intense yet somehow hidden from public view. But rest assured, the behind-the-scenes work is quietly reshaping your path. June begins with Venus in Aries, activating your 10th house of profession, suggesting strong creative impulses and a desire to stand out in your career. You're likely to receive recognition or new opportunities early in the month, especially in roles requiring diplomacy, design, media, or public relations. Venus supports visibility in your workplace until June 29th, after which it enters Taurus, the 11th house, boosting your prospects for gains through networks and benefactors. Mars, your 10th lord, transits through your first house, Cancer, until June 7th. This can make you emotionally reactive and somewhat impatient with others, particularly in your professional environment. This transit is also a call to reclaim personal authority and re-establish your presence in the workplace. On June 7th, Mars moves into Leo and conjoins Ketu in your second house, a significant shift. The second house represents your speech, values, and earnings, and Mars Ketu here may demand that you detach from egocentric expressions or old attitudes towards money. Be cautious with how you communicate at work and within family after this conjunction begins. Harsh words or impulsive statements could lead to conflicts or misunderstandings. Saturn, the lord of your 7th and 8th houses, continues to move through Pisces, your 9th house of higher wisdom, mentors, and destiny. Professionally, this indicates a karmic alignment where you're being guided toward long-term responsibilities that match your core beliefs. This is a period of building credibility and discipline, especially in professions related to teaching, consulting, legal matters, or international connections. Saturn's aspect on your 6th house, Sagittarius, shows challenges from competitors or coworkers, but these will ultimately strengthen your resilience and patience. The financial landscape this month is quite dynamic. With Mars transiting into your second house and forming a conjunction with Ketu, sudden fluctuations are expected. You might need to deal with unexpected expenses or rethink how you manage your resources. This could be a time to separate your sense of self-worth from material accumulation. Some Cancer individuals may feel urged to let go of outdated financial dependencies or familial obligations that are no longer serving them. Mercury, the planet of commerce and intellect, moves into your 12th house of losses and foreign lands on June 6th. Conjunct Jupiter here, this placement suggests expenses related to travel, education, or spiritual pursuits. For those involved in international business, foreign clients, or working behind the scenes, such as in research, healing, or writing, this is a productive month. You'll gain from subtle influences rather than overt actions. After June 22nd, Mercury enters Cancer and supports personal clarity, confidence in your ideas, and better negotiation skills. This month's energy around love and relationships is reflective and possibly karmic. With Saturn in your 9th house, you're being taught important lessons around your beliefs about partnerships and long-term commitments. Rahu's continued stay in your 8th house brings intensity, mystery, and perhaps some power dynamics into intimate relationships. If you're married, there could be deeper emotional discussions or secrets surfacing. Trust and vulnerability will be tested but can also lead to more profound bonding if handled with care. The full moon on June 11th falls in Scorpio, your 5th house of romance and creativity. This is a potent time for realizations about your love life, especially if you've been dealing with someone from the past or contemplating a new romantic interest. For singles, this can be a moment of heart awakening, especially if you're involved in a creative pursuit or connecting through shared values. Ketu in the 2nd house can bring some detachment in how you communicate within close relationships, so be mindful of sounding aloof or distant. Mars here can increase the urge to dominate conversations. Choosing softer expressions and listening with empathy will keep relationships balanced. June calls for some caution and patience in matters of family, especially around mid-month. Mars and Ketu in the 2nd house may stir up tensions within the family environment, especially surrounding property, inheritance, or old family wounds. This is a time to be diplomatic and avoid forcing your views. Arguments over finances, values, or miscommunications could arise if you're not grounded. Jupiter's presence in the 12th house also indicates that you may feel somewhat distant or detached from close relatives, either due to travel, responsibilities, or emotional shifts. But this detachment is not unhealthy. It's more about creating emotional boundaries and recognizing your own needs. Those involved in caregiving or supporting elders might feel overextended. Give yourself space when needed. On the brighter side, Mercury's return to your sign on June 22nd enhances your charm, communication skills, and capacity to resolve lingering family tensions. This is an excellent time to reach out and reconnect from a place of understanding. Your physical energy and emotional health may be in flux during the first half of the month, with Mars, your 10th and 5th lord, passing through your 1st house. You may feel physically charged yet emotionally sensitive, especially prone to inflammation, digestive upsets, or heat-related issues. Be cautious of impulsive behavior or accidents in the early part of the month. After June 7th, when Mars moves into Leo, the focus shifts to your eating habits and throat area. Stay hydrated and avoid overeating or consuming too many stimulants. Jupiter in the 12th and Saturn in the 9th both suggest that mental peace will come through spiritual practices. Meditation, journaling, or simply spending quiet time alone will help recalibrate your mind. The new moon in Gemini on June 25th, falling in your 12th house, marks a spiritual reset. This is a deeply karmic moon phase, ideal for setting intentions for inner healing, surrender, and releasing unconscious baggage. For those dealing with chronic conditions, this is a good month to explore alternative healing methods or consult with a physician. Sleep, too, should be prioritized. Your dreams may be more vivid or revealing at this time, guiding you towards subconscious truths. Overall, June 2025 for you is a month of self-transformation, clarity through solitude, and reconnection with your truest voice. While external achievements may be low-key, there is a tremendous amount of karmic realignment and self-growth taking place. Career, wealth, and relationships demand presence and patience, but the rewards come as you align with your higher purpose. Let go of outdated patterns, especially around control, material security, or rigid expectations. This June, Leo individuals walk through a transformative month across personal, professional, and emotional dimensions, as powerful planetary transits activate key areas of your chart. With the Sun, your sign lord, shifting from the 10th to the 11th house mid-month and significant energies building in your 1st and 11th houses, you're likely to experience both breakthroughs and internal challenges. Your professional life comes under strong spotlight this month, beginning with the Sun's transit in Taurus in your 10th house, the house of career, status, and authority. This placement enhances your visibility, leadership, and command at the workplace, especially in the first half of the month. Your ability to take charge and make important decisions will be appreciated. With Mercury also in the 10th house during the beginning of June, communication, presentations, and managerial abilities are emphasized. Expect important meetings, career discussions, or strategic decisions in this time frame. From June 6th, Mercury moves to Gemini, your 11th house of gains, forming a conjunction with Jupiter, which already resides there. This is highly auspicious for expansion in career networks, receiving financial bonuses, and manifesting long-term goals. Jupiter's presence in the 11th, combined with Mercury and later the Sun after June 15th, indicates rewards from past efforts, especially if you're in the fields of education, communication, finance, or consulting. If you've been seeking recognition or a promotion, this period may deliver results. Saturn's aspect on the 10th house from the 8th brings a dose of karmic testing. You may have to work harder behind the scenes or deal with bureaucratic delays. This aspect warns you to maintain ethical conduct at all times. Hidden tensions with authority figures or concerns over job security could arise, but staying disciplined will ease the path. By the end of the month, Venus entering Taurus, your 10th house, will boost charm and harmony at work, favoring creative professionals and those in media, luxury, or design sectors. Your financial prospects are largely positive, especially after the first week of June. Jupiter in your 11th house promotes long-term financial gains, steady growth in investments, and income from multiple sources. Mercury's entry into the 11th house from June 6th and the Sun joining this stellium on June 15th further amplify earnings. Those involved in business, trade, media, or intellectual services may witness an upturn in profits and client acquisitions. The new moon in Gemini on June 25th occurs in your 11th house, symbolizing the birth of a new financial goal, investment plan, or business alliance. It's an ideal time to plant seeds for long-term wealth creation. If you've been planning to join a new financial venture, take calculated risks after this new moon. With Saturn's aspect on your 2nd house of accumulated wealth, there's a karmic reminder to avoid overexpenditure and to maintain financial discipline. Unexpected expenses may occur, especially due to family or overseas travel, as Mars transits your 12th and later 1st house. Keep a check on impulsive spending, particularly on luxuries. Relationships take on a deeply karmic and transformative tone this month. Rahu, the shadow planet of obsession and desire, remains in your 7th house of partnerships, while Ketu sits in your 1st house. This axis often creates distance in partnerships, miscommunication, or a sense of detachment from one's partner. If you're married or in a long-term relationship, you may feel a lack of emotional satisfaction despite external harmony. Jupiter's trinal aspect from the 11th to Rahu in the 7th can bring a potential soulmate or significant partner into the lives of single Leo individuals. Online connections or fated encounters through friends may turn into something meaningful, particularly after June 6th. Be cautious, as Rahu can also bring illusions or misunderstandings. Let time reveal the truth behind the attraction. Venus transits your 9th house of fortune from May 31st to June 29th, suggesting that love may blossom through travel, higher studies, or philosophical alignment. Couples may take a spiritually enriching trip together. By month end, as Venus moves into your 10th house, workplace romance or admiration from colleagues may stir the emotional pot. June brings both bonding and distance in family life. The full moon on June 11th lights up your 4th house of home, peace of mind, and motherly affection. This could trigger deep emotional ties related to your roots, property matters, or family dynamics. If you've been away from home, this full moon could bring a sense of nostalgia or a desire to reconnect. Saturn's 7th aspect on the 2nd house continues to pressure family responsibilities or elder care. There may be a need to take practical decisions involving family finances, inheritance, or housing. Don't avoid difficult conversations. They may be uncomfortable but necessary. On the other hand, your social life blooms, particularly after June 15th when the Sun enters your 11th house. Parties, reunions, and networking events may re-energize your spirit. Friends may play a pivotal role in helping you accomplish your goals. Avoid overpromising or overextending yourself socially, especially after Mercury enters the 12th house on June 22nd, which signals mental fatigue and withdrawal. Your health landscape shifts notably in June. With Mars transiting your 12th house until June 7th, the early days of the month may bring sleep disturbances, low immunity, or anxiety. Be mindful of minor injuries or burnout due to overworking. Those undergoing surgery or treatment should be cautious and follow protocols strictly. Once Mars enters your 1st house on June 7th, physical energy surges, but so does the likelihood of restlessness, impulsiveness, and conflicts. You may feel the urge to assert yourself more aggressively. This is a powerful time to initiate fitness routines or assert control over your lifestyle, but avoid rash behavior or ego clashes. Ketu's presence in the 1st house can reduce your self-awareness or create confusion about your identity. Spiritual practices like meditation, pranayama, or spending time in solitude can be deeply healing. Avoid escapist tendencies or suppressing your true emotions. With Mercury entering your 12th house on June 22nd, mental health requires attention. You may feel a pull to disconnect, introspect, or even travel to retreat and recharge. Overall, June 2025 is a multifaceted month for Leo. While your professional and financial prospects are brightening through planetary alliances in your 10th and 11th houses, your inner world demands healing and transformation. As Mars enters your 1st house, you're called to step into courage, but not without awareness. Embrace your ambitions but remain grounded. Balance the desire for social success with the need for emotional depth. With Jupiter and the Sun supporting your gains and vision, this month is a bridge between outward achievements and inward evolution. As a Virgo, June 2025 brings a powerful blend of planetary movements that activate the key angular and trinal houses in your chart. With Mercury, your 1st and 10th house lord, making multiple shifts this month, and major transits occurring across your 9th, 10th, and 11th houses, you are in for a month of professional realignment, personal growth, and some deep emotional and psychological transitions. Mercury, your 1st house and career lord, begins June in Taurus, your 9th house of higher guidance, dharma, and fortune, where it is conjunct the Sun. This suggests that early in the month, your mind will be focused on long-term plans, mentorship, and learning. You may be seeking direction or trying to realign your goals in line with your broader life purpose. If you're in academia, publishing, law, or a spiritual field, this time may bring powerful insights and mentorship opportunities. The real momentum builds after June 6th, when Mercury moves into Gemini, your 10th house of karma, authority, and recognition. Here, it joins Jupiter, the expansive and benefic planet, which is already blessing your 10th house. This powerful conjunction indicates that your communication, intelligence, and leadership will shine on professional platforms. You are likely to receive recognition, new responsibilities, or even a promotion. Your ideas and voice will carry weight, especially after the Sun also enters Gemini on June 15th, forming a conjunction with both Jupiter and Mercury. This trio, Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter, in your 10th house is a blessing for career advancement, public speaking, authoritative roles, and business expansion. If you're self-employed, your visibility and influence will grow. By June 22nd, Mercury enters Cancer, your 11th house of gains, ambitions, and social networks. This shift brings your focus towards networking, team collaborations, and financial gains through your professional endeavors. You may see the fruits of your earlier efforts materialize toward the end of the month, especially after the new moon in your 10th house on June 25th, which marks a powerful reset for your professional life. Perhaps a new job, a project launch, or a shift in career trajectory. Financially, the month has 2 distinct phases. Early June may feel somewhat tight or unclear, especially with Mars still transiting through your 11th house of gains, where it is debilitated in Cancer. This could create friction or misalignment with your goals and may cause impulsive decisions regarding money. Avoid hasty investments or lending large amounts during the first week of June. After June 7th, Mars moves into Leo, your 12th house, and this might bring a sudden rise in expenses, especially related to travel, spiritual activities, foreign connections, or even medical expenses for some. Since Mars also rules your 8th house, sudden or hidden financial matters like inheritance, insurance, or debt could come to the forefront. There may be a need to spend cautiously, especially on unseen matters. On the brighter side, Jupiter's aspect on your 2nd house of accumulated wealth and family resources is a major saving grace. Jupiter here ensures that even if expenses rise, your financial foundation remains secure. By the end of the month, as Venus enters your 9th house, Taurus, on June 29th, benefic influences will start supporting both your financial and educational goals, especially those involving travel or foreign income. Your 7th house of marriage and partnerships is under the direct influence of Saturn, which continues its transit through Pisces. This long-term transit brings a serious, karmic tone to your relationships. For those in committed partnerships, may feel a little distant emotionally but will demand commitment and maturity. Saturn's influence can bring delays or a need for greater responsibility in marriage or long-term commitments. Jupiter, your 4th and 7th lord, is transiting your 10th house and casting its 7th aspect on your 4th house, domestic peace. This offers a beautiful chance to stabilize relationships, especially when it comes to balancing personal and professional lives. If you're single, this month could bring the possibility of meeting someone through work or a social circle, especially after Mercury moved into your 11th house in the last week of June. Ketu in your 12th house may still create subconscious resistance or emotional detachment in love matters. Past relationship patterns may resurface, especially around the full moon in Scorpio, your 3rd house, on June 11th. Communication will be key. Be mindful of what is said and unsaid during this emotionally charged period. Your family life shows mixed indications. Saturn's aspect on your 4th house may create a sense of heaviness or distance in the home environment. There could be responsibilities or duties that pull you away from spending quality time with family. Jupiter's grace on the 4th house helps mitigate the impact, suggesting that emotional support and peace can still be maintained through conscious efforts. The full moon in your 3rd house on June 11th puts the spotlight on your siblings, neighbors, and communication. You may reconnect with a sibling or handle a short journey around this time. Conversations will be intense and could reveal hidden truths or past misunderstandings. It's a good time to clear the air. With Mars entering your 12th house, it's best to avoid ego clashes or conflicts at home, especially with male members of the family. On a social level, the end of June offers bright prospects. As Mercury moves into your 11th house and forms connections with your network, there will be opportunities for celebrations, community involvement, or reconnecting with old friends. Social life picks up around the new moon on June 25th, potentially marking a new social connection or group affiliation. Health requires mindfulness this month, primarily due to Mars moving into your 12th house and Ketu already being there. This combination can weaken immunity, increase anxiety, or create sleep disturbances. It's important to not ignore minor health issues, especially those related to the feet, lymphatic system, or hormonal imbalances. Avoid overexerting yourself and watch out for burnout, especially during the 2nd and 3rd weeks of June when the 10th house is heavily activated with high professional demands. On the positive side, Mercury's strength in your 10th and later 11th house supports mental agility and clarity. Jupiter's influence helps maintain optimism and overall vitality. Saturn's aspect on your 1st house from the 7th house can create physical sluggishness or joint pains, so keep your daily routine disciplined, especially with exercise and food. June 2025 is a spiritually transformative time for Virgo individuals, especially due to the Mars-Ketu conjunction in your 12th house. This is a classic placement for spiritual awakening, detachment, and intense inner work. If you've been contemplating a retreat, meditation program, or deeper metaphysical studies, this month can be pivotal. Dreams may carry profound insights. This is also a month where charity and serving others quietly can bring deep satisfaction and karmic rewards. For Libra, with a strong emphasis on the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th houses, you are likely to experience powerful shifts in your external engagements, including career, partnerships, and long-distance travel, while also dealing with emotional and transformational undercurrents. Benefic influences from Jupiter and Venus are present, but malefic placements, particularly involving Mars and Ketu, demand caution and maturity in response. Your 10th house of career and public image is under significant planetary attention this month. Mars, which rules your 2nd house of income and 7th house of partnerships, starts the month debilitated in Cancer, 10th house, potentially causing irritability, emotional decision-making, or passive-aggressive behavior at the workplace. You might find yourself overreacting to authority or struggling to assert your ambitions clearly. This phase is short-lived, and by June 7th, Mars enters Leo, 11th house, providing a significant boost to your professional network, long-term goals, and collaborative ventures. Mars in Leo with Ketu can create a detached yet driven energy, perfect for working behind the scenes on a creative or mission-driven goal but not ideal for teamwork. Be wary of ego clashes, conflicts, or confusion in group settings, especially with friends, senior colleagues, or organizations. Saturn's 6th house transit through Pisces continues to test your patience and commitment to daily work routines, health, and handling adversaries. You are being taught discipline through repetition, routine, and self-care. Saturn's aspect to your 10th house earlier through Aries is now replaced by an 8th house aspect to Taurus, indicating that hidden factors, secrets, and intense changes behind the scenes may influence your public standing. Projects could get delayed or revised due to issues in funding or stakeholder trust. Stay transparent in communication, especially after June 22nd when Mercury moves into your 10th house. The last week of June is favorable for making presentations, interviews, or reconnecting with mentors who can help guide your next step. Financially, June brings a blend of fluctuation and unexpected gains. Your 2nd Lord Mars begins in a weak position but gains momentum after June 7th. Until then, avoid impulsive purchases, lending money, or making emotional decisions related to wealth and savings. The full moon in Scorpio on June 11th will illuminate your 2nd house of accumulated wealth, offering insights into your financial habits and encouraging you to stabilize your savings. You may feel pushed to address an unresolved matter involving family inheritance, shared resources, or bank loans. Venus, your 1st house and 8th lord, moves into the 7th house, Aries, on May 31st and remains there most of June. This position indicates that partnerships, personal or business, will affect your finances directly. There's potential to gain through spouse, clients, or collaborators. On June 29th, Venus enters Taurus, your 8th house, strengthening the theme of hidden or joint assets. Sudden gains, especially through insurance, settlements, or spouse's income, are possible toward the end of the month. Jupiter's aspect on your 1st house, Libra, from the 9th house offers divine protection and broadens your financial perspective. You're more inclined to plan for long-term growth through knowledge-based investments, learning, or international connections. The trinal connection between Jupiter and Rahu can make you overly optimistic. Avoid risky schemes or speculative investments. Keep your financial plans grounded in reality. Your love life experiences renewed energy as Venus, the planet of love, transits your 7th house of marriage and partnerships. From May 31st to June 29th, relationships take focus. For singles, this is an excellent time to meet someone new through social events, foreign connections, or even through work collaborations. For those in committed relationships, Venus in Aries adds passion and romantic spark, but it also brings the potential for ego clashes or over-assertiveness, especially if both partners want to lead. Mars' entry into the 11th house on June 7th, where it joins Ketu, could stir up latent issues related to emotional detachment in romantic connections or the feeling of not being seen or heard in a social setting. If you're dating, avoid manipulative or controlling tendencies. Saturn's continued transit through the 6th house may cause subtle tension, particularly if there have been underlying conflicts or trust issues. This is a month to work on resolving differences through communication and vulnerability. For married individuals, the 7th house Venus and 9th house transits of Jupiter, Mercury, and Sun bring opportunities for travel or spiritual bonding with your partner. With Mercury moving into the emotionally sensitive Cancer, 10th house, on June 22nd, be mindful of how professional pressures affect your tone and communication at home. Venus in Aries brings focus to your spouse or significant other's desires and how they interact with your extended family. With the 4th house Lord Saturn transiting the 6th house, there may be some emotional or physical distance from family members, possibly due to health concerns or work-related responsibilities. Jupiter's aspect to your 3rd house, Sagittarius, could help improve relations with siblings or neighbors. Rahu in the 5th and Ketu in the May 11th make it difficult to maintain harmonious ties in group settings or among children. If you have children, you may feel a sense of disconnection or worry over their academic or emotional well-being. Patience is key here. Engage in heartfelt conversations rather than trying to fix things. The new moon on June 25th in your 9th house can open a period of wisdom and healing with parental figures or mentors. Some Libra individuals may plan a short pilgrimage or journey of spiritual significance with family. If you've been distanced from a father or teacher, this is a powerful time to reconnect. Health continues to be a central theme due to Saturn's transit in your 6th house, which can cause chronic fatigue, joint issues, digestive concerns, or stress-induced ailments. The 6th house also rules your enemies and internal stressors. Take any symptoms seriously and do not delay medical consultation, especially around the middle of the month. When Mercury enters Cancer on June 22nd, your emotional stress could manifest physically. Prioritize mental wellness through meditation or journaling. Avoid overworking yourself, especially as the pressure builds in the professional sphere. Jupiter's placement in the 9th house offers a golden opportunity for spiritual growth, higher education, and philosophical exploration. This is an ideal month to begin a new course, engage in education, or connect with a guru. The trinal aspect of Jupiter to Rahu in the 5th supports creative intelligence, but beware of excessive idealism. The new moon in Gemini on June 25th can help you set fresh intentions regarding your life path and higher learning goals. Foreign travel, academic pursuits, and publishing efforts are also supported by Mercury and Sun transits in Gemini. If you've been contemplating relocation or studying abroad, this is an excellent month to make concrete plans, especially between June 6th and June 22nd. Overall, June 2025 invites you into a transformative journey. Relationships, career decisions, and spiritual aspirations will all demand your attention. With Venus and Jupiter supporting you, there is grace and charm on your side. Don't ignore the undercurrents. Mars, Saturn, and Ketu are pushing you to mature, detach from ego, and deepen your inner foundations. Accept the changes, however uncomfortable, as necessary stepping stones to a more aligned and powerful version of yourself. For Scorpio, this month brings a powerful mix of transformation, breakthroughs, and introspection. With key planetary shifts lighting up your angular and trinal houses, June 2025 promises both internal shifts and outward changes, especially in career, partnerships, and your personal well-being. Expect significant karmic themes to unfold as your first house Lord Mars changes signs and forms a conjunction with Ketu, and with Jupiter continuing its deep, introspective journey through your 8th house. Your 10th house of career becomes a major focal point this month as Mars, your 1st and 6th house ruler, enters Leo on June 7th. Mars joins Ketu here, igniting intense energy in your professional sphere. This conjunction can create a feeling of detachment from your career path or make you feel uncertain about your long-term goals. This is a karmic conjunction, urging you to realign your ambitions with your soul's true purpose. Sudden changes, conflicts, or disruptions in the workplace may occur, especially if you've been feeling directionless or confined. Use this energy constructively by focusing on independent pursuits, entrepreneurship, or revisiting old aspirations. Until June 7th, Mars remains debilitated in Cancer in your 9th house, creating a sense of fatigue or frustration in areas related to travel, higher learning, and mentorship. Be cautious with communication with seniors or father figures early in the month. After Mars moves to Leo, its strength returns, and you may become more assertive at work, though the presence of Ketu requires patience and humility. The Sun, ruling your 10th house, transits Taurus in your 7th house until June 15th, indicating opportunities through partnerships or client-based work. Collaborations might play a strong role in your success. After June 15th, the Sun moves into Gemini and your 8th house, indicating the need to work behind the scenes, investigate hidden potentials, or engage in research or occult sciences. This is not the best time to seek public recognition, but a great time to develop something meaningful in private. Jupiter, the ruler of your 2nd house of wealth, is transiting Gemini, your 8th house, a house of shared resources, inheritance, and hidden wealth. This shows that your financial situation may not be entirely in your control and could rely on partnerships, family support, or investments. This is a good time to manage loans, tax matters, and joint assets carefully. Seek advice before making large investments. The aspect of Saturn from your 5th house to the 2nd house emphasizes the need for discipline in earnings and spending. Saturn may delay gains or make you work harder for results, but long-term wealth will slowly accumulate if you're consistent and avoid risky ventures. Saturn also aspects your 11th house of income and connections, meaning that efforts in networking or long-term projects may bring rewards, albeit slowly. Venus, the lord of your 7th and 12th houses, transits your 6th house of debts and litigation until June 29th. This may increase expenses related to relationships, medical issues, or travel. Once Venus enters Taurus, its own sign in your 7th house, you may receive financial support through partnerships or marriage. Romantic and marital matters take a complex turn this month. With Venus, your 7th lord, transiting the 6th house for most of June, there may be misunderstandings or distance in committed relationships. You or your partner may feel overburdened by routine, health issues, or external demands. If you're single, you may feel disinterested in dating or may attract partners from work settings. Clarity and comfort improve after June 29th, when Venus moves into Taurus. This transit is particularly favorable for romantic bonding, harmony, and marriage. Mercury's conjunction with Jupiter and Sun in your 8th house around mid-month might stir hidden emotions or trigger deep conversations in your relationship. Trust and emotional transparency will be critical. Avoid being overly analytical or skeptical, especially around the new moon on June 25th, which can bring revelations or endings related to intimacy and emotional bonds. The 4th house of home and peace of mind is currently occupied by Rahu, and this transit continues to bring restlessness or a desire for change in your domestic life. You might feel a pull toward relocating, renovating, or redefining what home means to you. Emotional distance or erratic behavior from family members, especially the mother or maternal figures, may require your attention. The Jupiter-Rahu trine indicates that insights about your emotional needs can come through meditation, therapy, or spending time alone. Saturn's influence from the 5th to the 2nd and 4th houses might create some emotional distance within the family or restrict communication temporarily. It also urges maturity and grounded decisions related to real estate, parental responsibilities, or ancestral matters. Elder siblings or friends may require your support or become instrumental in long-term planning. The full moon in your sign on June 11th brings a moment of personal clarity and emotional culmination. It may highlight what you need to feel seen, respected, and supported. Don't hesitate to express your needs clearly to those you trust. Health needs careful monitoring this month, especially with your 1st and 6th Lord Mars debilitated and later conjunct Ketu. While your vitality may feel low at the beginning of June, energy picks up after Mars moves into Leo on June 7th. Still, the Mars-Ketu combination in the 10th house can lead to stress, burnout, or work-related health issues. Try not to overexert yourself in trying to prove a point or fight for control in professional settings. The 8th house transits of Jupiter, Sun, and Mercury bring a strong focus on inner healing, detoxification, and psychological well-being. If you've been ignoring emotional baggage, this is the time to address it. Consider therapy, alternative healing practices, or spiritual retreats. Hormonal or reproductive health may also require attention for some Scorpios. Rahu in the 4th house can disturb your mental peace or sleep patterns. Grounding practices like meditation, spending time in nature, and creating a calm home environment can help balance this energy. Mercury entering Cancer on June 22nd will bring mental relief and a more philosophical mindset, ideal for journaling, travel planning, or studying spiritual subjects. With multiple planets transiting your 8th house, including the Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter, June is a deeply transformative month. You may go through intense self-inquiry, questioning your values, desires, and spiritual beliefs. This is a time of shedding old emotional patterns, particularly around trust, fear, and control. Jupiter's aspect to your 12th house supports spiritual growth through seclusion, meditation, or retreats. The new moon in Gemini on June 25th brings a fresh start in the area of hidden knowledge, emotional surrender, and transformation. Embrace this opportunity to let go of what no longer serves your higher path. Overall, June 2025 is a month of emotional depth, karmic transitions, and subtle breakthroughs. While the outer world may seem demanding or uncertain at times, the real action is happening within you. With your 8th and 10th houses activated by major planetary energies, you're being asked to release control, embrace transformation, and rediscover what truly fuels your ambition. If you walk this path with awareness and self-honesty, the insights gained this month will shape the rest of your year in powerful ways. For Sagittarius, June 2025 brings a blend of transformative intensity and relationship-centered growth. With major planetary activity focused on the 7th house of partnerships and the 1st house of self, you're entering a period where your external relationships mirror your inner evolution. Jupiter, your ruling planet, plays a pivotal role this month as it transits Gemini, your 7th house of spouse, business alliances, and contracts, directly influencing your identity and life path. Your professional life enters a dynamic phase this month. Saturn, the lord of your 2nd and 3rd houses, continues its slow and steady transit through your 4th house, Pisces. This indicates a period where professional efforts are likely to be deeply connected to home-based responsibilities, emotional clarity, or even real estate or land-related matters. Saturn's 10th aspect on your 10th house of career from Pisces brings a sense of seriousness and responsibility in your work. You may feel burdened or overworked, but at the same time, you're laying the foundation for a longer-term success path, especially if you've been putting in disciplined effort. Jupiter in your 7th house, especially forming conjunctions with Mercury and later the Sun, is a highly favorable alignment for business partnerships, contract negotiations, client relationships, or collaborative ventures. If you're in any client-facing profession, expect an expansion in your influence. For entrepreneurs, new business deals, joint ventures, or consultations could flourish now. Jupiter's aspect on your 11th house of gains and 3rd house of efforts can bring a boost in networking, social influence, and returns from past hard work. With Mercury joining the Gemini crowd, there's also a caution. Too much talk, too many opinions, or overthinking could create confusion in decision-making, especially between June 6th and June 22nd. Keep your communication precise and professional. The second half of the month becomes more emotionally intense after June 22nd when Mercury moves into Cancer, your 8th house, bringing deeper psychological introspection and possible hidden developments at work. This may also uncover office politics or sensitive power dynamics. Handle secrets, contracts, and financial dealings with care, especially if you're in finance, research, or legal professions. Financial matters are undergoing deep karmic shaping right now. Saturn, ruling your 2nd house of accumulated wealth, continues to transmute your foundational values through its 4th house transit. Expenses related to home, real estate, vehicles, or family duties may increase. This is also a time for budgeting and restructuring how you save, spend, or invest. Long-term financial planning is important under Saturn's gaze. Venus, the natural significator of wealth, starts the month in your 5th house of speculation and creativity in Aries. This could bring luck in stock investments, speculative ventures, or even gains through children, hobbies, or side passions. It's a good time to invest in creative ventures or romantic pursuits, but don't expect stability here. When Venus enters your 6th house on June 29th, focus shifts to managing debts, repaying loans, or investing in health and well-being. The full moon in Scorpio on June 11th falls in your 12th house, potentially highlighting some hidden or foreign expenses. This could indicate payments toward travel, spiritual pursuits, or hospital bills. It's wise to keep a reserve fund ready for such unpredictable expenditures. Mars, your 5th and 12th lord, moves into Leo on June 7th, forming a conjunction with Ketu in your 9th house. Be cautious in travel-related expenses, especially to foreign lands, or spending on higher education, spiritual activities, or gurus. These expenditures may be sudden or disconnected from logic but can bring karmic shifts and self-growth. Relationships take focus this month, with Jupiter, the planet of blessings, moving through your 7th house and forming auspicious aspects to your 1st and 11th houses. This is a prime period for romantic commitment, marriage talks, or the deepening of existing relationships. If you're single, the chances of meeting someone through networking events, online platforms, or even through mutual contacts are strong. The Sun and Mercury joining Jupiter in your 7th house adds charm, intelligence, and recognition in your love life or marriage. Your spouse or partner may experience professional success, and there can be a mutual sense of growth. Be mindful of ego clashes after June 15th when the Sun enters Gemini. Both you and your partner might try to dominate conversations. Jupiter's calming influence should help balance things out, but it's wise to avoid arguments for the sake of harmony. The new moon on June 25th in Gemini will reset relationship dynamics. This could be a time to let go of past patterns and start anew in your approach to love or partnership. It's ideal for fresh beginnings, be it a proposal, a commitment, or emotional renewal. Mars transiting your 9th house after June 7th may spark conflicts, passionate debates, or philosophical differences with other people, especially related to religious or cultural views. Ketu's presence adds a layer of detachment, so it's important not to impose your beliefs but to seek mutual understanding. Family life may feel like it's going through slow restructuring. Saturn in your 4th house tends to bring a serious tone to home matters. You might feel emotionally distant from family members or burdened with responsibilities around property, elders, or parental health. Take things slowly, and try to provide emotional support rather than expecting it. With Rahu in your 3rd house and its trine aspect from Jupiter, your connection with siblings, neighbors, or your local community could grow, but with a twist. Rahu's influence can make these interactions opportunistic or unpredictable. Stay alert for mixed signals or manipulation in close-knit social dynamics. The 5th house Venus in Aries at the start of the month brings warmth and joy through your children or hobbies. If you're a parent, your child's performance or achievements could make you proud. Health requires extra attention this month, especially in the second half. Mars, your 12th lord, moves from the 8th to the 9th house, which could bring relief from emotional burdens, but may also prompt reckless behaviors, especially during travel. Avoid risky adventures or overexertion. Mercury's entry into Cancer, your 8th house, on June 22nd could manifest as mental anxiety, nervousness, or obsessive thoughts. Sleep disturbances may occur, especially near the Scorpio full moon on June 11th. Meditation, grounding exercises, and hygiene become important. The 6th house transits of the Sun and Mercury early in the month highlight the need for better dietary habits and stress management. You may need to pay attention to digestion or inflammation-related issues. Overall, June 2025 is a profound month of balancing your inner world with your external relationships. With Jupiter and Saturn both aspecting your 1st house, you're simultaneously growing in wisdom and learning patience. Love and partnership bring expansion and karmic maturity. Career prospects are on the rise, especially with intelligent collaborations. Family and home require your time and emotional investment, while finances call for conscious budgeting. Let this be a month where you grow not just outwardly, but inwardly, balancing duty and desire, logic and intuition, expansion and discipline. For Capricorn, June 2025 presents a transformative month layered with growth, restructuring, and a few emotional tests. With your 1st house lord Saturn placed in the 3rd house in Pisces, you're being subtly guided toward building patience, refining your communication, and investing in consistent personal efforts. Your mindset is increasingly becoming strategic and thoughtful. With several planetary shifts this month, especially involving the 6th, 7th, and 8th houses, you may experience both internal and external transitions that shape your professional, personal, and emotional spheres. Your career zone is under powerful influence this month. Venus, the ruler of your 10th house of career, initially transits Aries until June 29th, activating your 4th house. This suggests that a lot of your career drive and work output will be impacted by domestic matters, real estate dealings, or matters related to vehicles or property. Work from home setups or opportunities related to interior design, real estate, or family businesses may rise. After June 29th, Venus moves into Taurus, your 5th house and its own sign, bringing a stroke of creativity, visibility, and favorable recognition to your work. Meanwhile, Jupiter transiting your 6th house is both a boon and a caution. On the one hand, Jupiter in Gemini supports resolution of legal matters, improvements in job routines, and opportunities through service sectors such as education, health, or finance. There's potential to gain a better job or upgrade your current one through learning new skills. Since the 6th house also rules enemies and debts, you must remain cautious of hidden competitors or overconfidence in the workplace. The conjunction of Mercury and Sun with Jupiter from June 15th onwards energizes this area heavily, bringing authority, strong communication, and impactful decisions to your day-to-day responsibilities. This is the time to shine by demonstrating knowledge, articulating your thoughts with clarity, and staying consistent with your efforts. Rahu transiting your 2nd house of savings and family wealth can cause fluctuations, illusions, or sudden changes in your financial landscape. You may be tempted to take unconventional routes to secure money or invest in futuristic ideas. It is essential to avoid impulsive decisions and consult with experts before committing to major financial agreements. The influence of Jupiter from the 6th house, aspecting your 2nd house, where Rahu is, creates a unique dynamic. On the one hand, this can result in gains through service-oriented fields or loans being approved. On the other hand, the Jupiter-Rahu trine aspect could inflate your expectations or lead you to overestimate returns. Avoid speculation and stay grounded. Mars, the ruler of your 11th house of gains, moves into the 8th house on June 7th, where it conjoins Ketu. This is a powerful yet intense placement for money through partnerships, inheritance, insurance, or hidden resources. Be cautious in joint ventures or shared investments. Sudden inflows are possible, but so are unexpected expenses, especially related to taxes or family obligations. Trust your instincts but don't ignore due diligence. This month carries transformative energies for love and marriage, especially with Mars entering the 8th house and forming a conjunction with Ketu from June 7th onward. The 7th house, which governs partnerships and marriage, experiences temporary turbulence as Mars exits its debilitation in Cancer. While this brings relief in marital matters, the entry of Mars into the intense 8th house, especially with Ketu's spiritual, unpredictable influence, can create hidden tensions, conflicts, lack of transparency, or emotional detachment in intimate partnerships and with extended family members. If you're married, this is a time when both partners need to work on trust and avoid suppressing issues. Avoid jumping to conclusions and take space if needed to process emotions. For those in a relationship, the atmosphere may feel emotionally heavy or mysterious. There may be an urge to withdraw or to explore the deeper meaning of your bond. This transit is not ideal for starting a new relationship unless you are prepared to navigate emotional depths and transformation. If you're spiritually inclined, this period can bond you through shared metaphysical or healing interests. The presence of Rahu in your 2nd house can sometimes cause misunderstandings or detachment in family dynamics. You may be perceived as distant or misunderstood, even if your intentions are pure. Clear and compassionate communication is essential to maintain harmony in your close relationships. Try to avoid unnecessary arguments related to money, property, or inheritance, especially after June 7th, when Mars enters the 8th house and can create a volatile tone. On a brighter note, the full moon on June 11th in Scorpio, your 11th house, illuminates your friendships and social network. This can be a time when you reconnect with old friends or receive support from a community or group. A wish or long-term goal may reach fulfillment around this time, bringing emotional satisfaction. Saturn, your 1st house lord, continues to guide you from the 3rd house, shaping your self-expression and sibling relationships. You may find yourself becoming more reserved in your conversations, thinking deeply before you speak, and choosing to act rather than talk. If you have younger siblings, they may be going through a transformative phase, and your support could make a meaningful difference in their journey. Health is an area that needs consistent attention throughout June. Jupiter's presence in the 6th house gives you the strength to recover from chronic ailments, or improve your health through disciplined routines. This also makes you prone to digestive issues, overindulgence in food, or weight gain if you neglect dietary discipline. Mercury joining Jupiter and the Sun in the 6th house suggests that nervous tension, stress, or overthinking could be contributing factors. Find time to unplug from mental chatter, whether through meditation, journaling, or spending time in nature. Mars in the 8th house after June 7th can stir up psychosomatic symptoms, fatigue, or hormonal imbalances. Avoid taking physical risks and be mindful of accidents or injuries with sharp objects, particularly those related to the pelvic or reproductive areas. Rest and deep healing therapies are recommended now. For some, this transit can mark a time of intense transformation through therapy, energy healing, or spiritual practices. The new moon on June 25th occurs in Gemini, your 6th house, signaling a new beginning related to work habits, health, or service to others. Use this time to set intentions for lifestyle changes, whether that means adopting a new fitness regimen, quitting bad habits, or taking on a new work responsibility with confidence and commitment. Overall, June 2025 challenges you to go within, to transform quietly but significantly. The shifts this month may not always be visible on the surface, but they are profoundly shaping your emotional, financial, and spiritual resilience. Trust your process, speak with intention, and keep your long-term goals in view. You are building a deeper version of success that aligns with your truth. For Aquarius, June 2025 is an intense and transformative month, as several transits activate your key houses. With Saturn in Pisces continuing its deep restructuring work in your second house of values and finances, and Jupiter newly settled in your fifth house in Gemini, supported by a strong Sun-Mercury conjunction, this month promises developments in both personal and professional life. Rahu in your first house and Ketu in your seventh house further add an air of karmic transformation in how you relate to others and understand yourself. Career-wise, June is a mixed yet dynamic month for Aquarius individuals. The full moon on June 11th in Scorpio, your 10th house of career and public status, brings a culmination or spotlight to a work-related project, recognition, or a major decision regarding your professional path. This lunar influence may heighten emotional investment in your career, possibly even prompting a reassessment of your current job or position. With Saturn, your first house lord, placed in the second house and aspecting the 11th house of gains and networking, your sense of stability and financial security from work will depend on how well you've been managing long-term goals. Saturn's aspect on the 8th house also urges you to be cautious about office politics, hidden agendas, or sudden changes. Mars, your 10th lord, moves from its debilitated position in Cancer, 6th house, into Leo, 7th house, on June 7th. This shift is significant. It energizes partnerships, collaborations, and dealings with clients or business allies. Since Mars will conjunct Ketu in Leo, this alignment may lead to sudden separations or conflicts in partnerships. You may feel either extremely aggressive or disillusioned about your work relationships. If you're in a leadership role or handling negotiations, be wary of impulsive actions and try to stay grounded. Mercury transiting from the 4th to the 6th house during the month also signals a busy and communicative work environment. Expect multiple meetings, short travels, or an intense exchange of ideas. Legal matters, competitive environments, and service-related work may dominate your schedule in the second half of the month. Saturn in Pisces in the second house continues to demand financial discipline and long-term planning. Any financial decisions taken now must be rooted in realism rather than risk. Avoid overextending yourself or indulging in unnecessary expenses. The presence of Venus in Aries, 3rd house, and later moving into Taurus, 4th house, on June 29th provides some comfort and support. Jupiter, your 2nd and 11th lord, is now in the 5th house in Gemini. This is a positive placement for gains through speculation, creativity, teaching, children, or entrepreneurial ventures. Jupiter's trinal aspect to Rahu in your first house can inflate desires or lead to overconfidence. Be careful not to gamble excessively with your wealth. Financial gains can come, but they will require discernment and timing. Networking or past efforts related to your skills or education may also start yielding returns this month. This is a critical and potentially karmic month for love, marriage, and partnerships. The 7th house of marriage is under heavy influence. Mars enters Leo and forms a conjunction with Ketu. This brings passion but also volatility and unpredictability to your relationships. If you're married, arguments, conflicts, and misunderstandings may flare up if not handled carefully. Ketu's detaching influence combined with Mars' aggression could create distance or ego clashes. This is especially true if either partner feels a lack of appreciation or emotional connection. If you're single, the presence of Rahu in your first house and Jupiter's 5th house influence increases chances of sudden attractions, possibly with someone intellectually stimulating or foreign. But Rahu's illusions and Ketu's detachment suggest that such connections might lack grounding or clarity. Venus transit into Taurus at month-end improves the emotional atmosphere in relationships, creating better harmony and understanding, especially within family or domestic settings. The new moon in Gemini, 5th house, on June 25th could bring a fresh start in love matters or creative projects, but only after some emotional reflection and letting go of unrealistic expectations. Family life this month requires patience and clear communication. Saturn in the 2nd house brings maturity but also responsibility toward family members, especially regarding financial matters. You may feel burdened with responsibilities or find that older family members need your support. Communication within the family may feel serious or constrained. Mercury and the Sun transiting your 4th and 5th houses for the first half of the month bring an emphasis on children, education, or matters related to real estate. Some Aquarians may find themselves juggling work and family responsibilities. If you're involved in buying/selling property or relocating, delays may occur due to Saturn's slow-moving influence. Be patient and double-check documentation. With Rahu in your 1st house and Mars transiting through the 6th and then 7th house, health demands attention. Mars in Cancer may have previously drained your energy or increased issues related to digestion, inflammation, or fatigue. As Mars moves into Leo, conjunct Ketu, the energy shifts toward the lower abdomen and reproductive organs. Be mindful of overexertion, especially in partnerships or sexual matters. If you've been ignoring routine health checkups, this is a good time to catch up. Rahu in the first house can make you feel restless, ambitious, or even anxious without knowing why. This transit also makes you highly magnetic but prone to overextending yourself. Grounding practices such as meditation can help balance the heightened mental activity caused by Jupiter and Rahu's trine. The full moon in your 10th house on June 11th may briefly intensify stress or bring professional pressure to a peak, affecting your emotional health. Make time for solitude and self-care, especially around that period. This month, the transits nudges you toward internal reflection even as the external world demands action. Jupiter in the 5th house supports studies, mantra chanting, or gaining wisdom through children, creativity, or romantic experiences. The new moon in the 5th house on June 25th can trigger a new phase of emotional intelligence, or rekindle a sense of purpose through spiritual or intellectual pursuits. Saturn in the 2nd house asks you to reassess what truly holds value in your life, not just money, but emotional and spiritual wealth. Rahu in your 1st house continues to push you toward reinventing your identity, but it can also make you feel lost at times. Trust the wisdom of Jupiter and the clarity of Mercury's transits this month. They offer insight and perspective. Overall, June 2025 is a powerful and multidimensional month for you, Aquarius. You are standing at the intersection of internal shifts and external opportunities. Your sense of identity, career direction, and relationships are going through deep, sometimes confusing, changes, but these are necessary for growth. The key lies in balancing the powerful push of Rahu with the grounding discipline of Saturn, and letting Jupiter guide your vision. Avoid impulsive decisions, stay emotionally aware, and trust the long-term process. You're in the midst of a profound upgrade. For Pisces, June 2025 is a highly transformative month, as the focus of planetary energies deeply influences your personal development, domestic comfort, emotional foundation, and professional commitments. With Saturn transiting your 1st house, and Jupiter now in your 4th house, both slow-moving giants are shaping long-term restructuring in how you perceive yourself, your home, and your public role. The month brings a mix of introspection, productivity, and spiritual awareness. Career matters remain an evolving landscape this month as Jupiter, the ruler of both your 1st and 10th houses, is transiting Gemini, your 4th house. This indicates a period where internal stability and domestic affairs influence your professional choices. You may feel an increasing desire to align your career path with your values or seek roles that allow more flexibility and emotional satisfaction. Working from home, or exploring hybrid roles, becomes more attractive now. The conjunction of Mercury with Jupiter from June 6th and then with the Sun from June 15th further stimulates intellectual clarity and communicative confidence in career-related decisions. This is an excellent time to pitch ideas, hold meetings, or initiate public outreach. Saturn, your 11th and 12th lord, is in the 1st house, pushing you to take a more mature, realistic approach toward your long-term goals. You may feel more responsible, and at times burdened by leadership expectations. Saturn's aspect on the 10th house emphasizes that slow and disciplined efforts at work will eventually yield recognition. The new moon on June 25th in your 4th house may bring a new project related to property, real estate, or work-from-home opportunities. This can also mark a fresh start in balancing your private and public life better. Until June 7th, Mars remains debilitated in Cancer in your 5th house, which may create confusion or a lack of enthusiasm in creative ventures or speculative work. You may find it hard to take bold steps. After June 7th, as Mars enters Leo and conjoins Ketu in your 6th house, your focus shifts toward handling competition and work pressure. Be mindful of confrontations and conflicts at the workplace, and don't let impulsiveness affect professional relationships. The Mars-Ketu conjunction might also bring sudden conflicts or power struggles with colleagues or authority figures. Financial matters show signs of improvement and thoughtful restructuring this month. Venus, the ruler of your 3rd and 8th houses, transits through your 2nd house of wealth until June 29th. This is highly favorable for increasing income through self-effort, business deals, or support from extended family. You may receive money through inheritance, past investments, or even insurance-related gains. After June 29th, when Venus enters Taurus, its own sign in your 3rd house, your communication and networking skills become instrumental in enhancing earnings. Contracts, short-term travels, or digital work can bring in profitable opportunities. Mars, ruling your 2nd house of wealth, will be in Leo from June 7th, activating the 6th house, which deals with debts, loans, and daily work routines. You may need to control aggressive spending or avoid taking impulsive loans. The conjunction of Mars with Ketu could create unexpected expenses related to health, legal issues, or disputes, so caution is key. Relationships go through a period of introspection and spiritual testing. Saturn is currently aspecting your 7th house of partnerships, which can create distance, delays, or a feeling of emotional heaviness in your marriage or committed relationship. It also offers the opportunity to bring maturity, long-term planning, and emotional strength into the connection. If you're married, responsibilities may increase, possibly due to family or professional demands. It's important to keep communication clear and compassionate. Mercury, your 7th lord, enters your 4th house on June 6th and joins Jupiter, making this a favorable time for intimate, heart-to-heart conversations at home. This is especially beneficial if you're trying to resolve a misunderstanding or take your relationship to the next level. From June 22nd onward, as Mercury enters Cancer in your 5th house, romance is reignited, and singles may feel inspired to open up emotionally. You may meet someone through creative pursuits, travel, or online platforms. The full moon on June 11th in your 9th house can bring clarity around belief systems and relationships. You or your partner might be reevaluating the philosophical alignment in your connection. For those in long-distance relationships, this lunation can bring emotional revelation and renewed commitment. Home and family take focus in June as your 4th house of domestic matters is powerfully activated by Jupiter, Mercury, the Sun, and the new moon. This alignment brings both blessings and challenges. You may be making improvements in your home environment, renovations, redecorating, or even considering relocation. The support of elders and family members will be available, though some misunderstandings with siblings or neighbors may arise, especially around June 15th when the Sun enters Gemini and conjuncts Mercury. Venus in the 2nd and then 3rd house ensures that love, sweetness, and support will flow from close relatives, especially female members of the family. You might also be more involved with your siblings' lives this month. This is a good time to strengthen bonds by engaging in shared projects, short trips, or heartfelt discussions. With Rahu in the 12th house and Saturn in your 1st house, you may experience moments of emotional withdrawal or a desire for solitude. Spiritual practices, retreats, or quiet time at home will help restore emotional balance. If living away from your family, this is a good month to reconnect with them emotionally and energetically. Your health requires conscious attention in June, especially due to the conjunction of Mars and Ketu in your 6th house from June 7th onward. This combination can trigger inflammatory conditions, accidents, or stress-related ailments. Be especially careful of your digestive and circulatory systems. Regular exercise, a calm routine, and avoiding overexertion will be essential. Saturn in your 1st house is also slowing you down physically and emotionally. You may feel more fatigued or burdened by responsibilities. But this is Saturn's way of asking you to slow down, ground yourself, and adopt healthier long-term habits. It's a good time to focus on building stamina, improving posture, and managing anxiety through meditation or breathing practices. The full moon in your 9th house on June 11th may trigger a need for spiritual healing. Engaging in practices like meditation, journaling, or visiting a temple or sacred place may bring emotional relief. With Jupiter in the 4th, your emotional health becomes deeply connected to your living space, so consider decluttering or spending more time in nature. Overall, June 2025 is a month of introspective yet productive change for Pisces individuals. Life is encouraging you to take serious stock of your personal path and long-term growth. By balancing discipline with intuition and allowing space for both solitude and connection, you can move through this month with grace and self-growth. Trust your inner voice, and let your spiritual wisdom guide your material world. As we conclude this episode, please remember that these insights are based on sidereal or Vedic astrology, which accounts for the approximately 24-degree difference from the tropical zodiac. Individual predictions may vary, as every birth chart is unique. The influence of dasha periods and natal planetary placements can shape transits differently, both positively and negatively. It's essential to consider your own birth chart when applying these general predictions to your personal circumstances. If you'd like personalized predictions or have questions about your astrological chart, feel free to reach out to us. Stay tuned for more astrological updates. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful astrology content. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to sharing more astrological wisdom with you in the future. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep shining bright.